Welcome to Inner Architecture Academy podcast. We are your hosts, Marta and Beata.
Welcome, everyone. So, today we want to start with a conversation. So, Marta, I do have a question for you. May I ask it?
Sure, fire away.
Marta, who are you?
Beata, I am a resilience and transformation coach for women. I teach self-defense. I teach Wim Hof method. I work in leadership.
Okay, Marta, that's very cute CV. Very, very impressive, I must say. But I didn't ask you what you do. I asked you just simple question. Marta, who are you?
Well then, Beata, I am a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I am a friend. I am a sister, a daughter.
Marta, stop, stop, stop. That's all beautiful what you are mentioning, but still, those are just roles. Beautiful ones, very nice ones. But who are you without all of that? Who are you, Marta?
Well then, Beata, I am strong, I am soft, I am friendly, I am loving, I am, I am.
Yeah, so much more, right? Okay, that's beautiful. Now we are in the personality folder, Marta. Much better, much, much better. But still, who are you? I'm just asking you who you are.
Who am I then, Beata? If I'm not all of this, who am I?
Exactly. Welcome into the podcast. Welcome. So today we are moving somewhere because those are very beautiful answers, but with your answers we are getting somewhere because you are describing a lot of what you are doing and what you think about yourself. So if I asked you deeply, and let's go deeper, who are you when you are not performing healing, wisdom, strength, or I don't know, spirituality?
Um, well, as we talked about it a little bit earlier, now I know I'm a soul having a human experience. So this is who I am. All these things that I said earlier, it was, I used to think that who I was. But now I know that I'm much, much more than that.
Yes.
I'm much more, like you said, I'm much more than those personality traits. I'm much more than what I do professionally. I'm much more than my feelings, than my emotions. And it was very powerful to realize that.
Yeah.
And because once I realized that I am more than all of these things, um, I wanted to uncover more because all these things, all these conditionings that I named earlier, or this, things that we tell ourselves that we are, that I was telling myself that I
Mm-hmm.
was, these are not me.
No.
And, and yeah, I'm this being having this experience.
Yes, you are, but to I think this is the exactly the problem with people, that we are not being quiet enough to answer those questions, and nobody ask those questions because we are tend so much to embody something, that we are playing this life so bravely that we are really forgetting who we truly are, and most of all, what we are all coming here to do. Because I think this is kind of strategy that we are performing those role or multiple, and you are being so convinced that you are all of them, that you do not take, I mean you, like we humans, we do not
Mm.
pause and we do not go deeper to feel the essence, to feel the truthfulness, because a lot of us I don't know if you are seeing this in your environment, but I can see in myself also as well. I am big searcher and always was, but people are starting to missing something. Like there is so much here. We are having so many roles, so many tasks, so many things to do. There is this beautiful knowledge, but way too much coming our way. And we are just willing to feel and know on the deepest level who are we, because everything is empty if you do not have this connection, if you cannot feel that there is this certain aliveness in you. And I don't mean this, spark of energy that you just are able to do your tasks, go to the job and be mom or whatever. This aliveness, this joy, this energy that moves you forward with trust, with something bigger, with this sense of being small part of something bigger, and you are something bigger. People are missing this, and maybe this is the time now with all those technologies to go deeper and reclaim this essence in us, this feeling, right?
Yes, to go deeper within yourself.
Yes.
Because I don't know about other people, but I always had that feeling that I was more than I was.
Mm.
I didn't understand what this feeling was because, yeah, no, like, nobody was saying anything about anything like that. People, like, in my family where I grew up, we didn't talk about emotions. We didn't talk about feelings. We were just, I don't know, existing. Can I
Functional.
say that? Functioning. Yeah, that's it. But I always had that feeling that I don't fit, that I don't want to say that I am better than them, but it was more of I don't belong here. I deserve something better, and um, and that I am bigger than I know that I am. This kind of thing, because
Yeah.
I thought, like, before I thought it was kind of like arrogance. And I didn't want to admit maybe to this feeling because I was afraid of being seen as arrogant or as, grandiose, if that's the word. Um, but now I know what the feeling is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is kind of sad because look of the programming around it. So you as a living being, you felt this connection to something bigger, and you couldn't put it into the words. So you were probably, as me, searching for the feedback in the surroundings, in the people. But they told you that if you are like this, you selfish, you big shot, so this is crazy, right? Because most of, I don't know, the generation before us, our parents, our grandparents, they maybe were just functional, this is
Mm,
they on this level, like just do your thing, and don't ask too many questions, do not feel too many things, there is no time,
yeah.
you need to do what you need to do, you've got to do what you've got to do. So this is a very functional level of self, where people placed everything, like to have certain order, that and being told what to do. And this is definitely not us. So, probably you and me and a lot of people who are listening to this podcast are the black sheeps, which are great, right? Because those are carried those codes of remembrance. And we were always uncomfortable because we always ask those questions nobody dared. We were pouring in the places that people were like, so what you doing? Just drop it. For
Yeah.
God's sake, just be functional. Can you?
Yeah, exactly. I was always asking myself those kind of questions, like, what am I doing here? Like, why am
Yeah.
I here? But I never asked them to others because, I just didn't because nobody ever did.
No.
So I just, matched with my surroundings, but inside I was suffering.
Yeah, because that's a lonely way if you do not have any feedback and you have those questions and you're probably sensitive. So that's part of psychological self, right? Where
Yeah.
you are feeling those different things like being strong, independent, and it might shift depending how, the atmosphere, the emotional weather all around you is. But, those are the questions that we are not answering honestly because We have been taught that you just need to behave. You just need to behave and don't do stupid things. Don't be too different because then you're going to be difficult. And if you are difficult, people are going to just reject you.
Yeah, all this, don't cry, don't do this, don't feel emotions, just be quiet, be
Yeah,
calm.
yeah,
It
that's,
was suppressing all these emotions. And I remember, I had always so much
yeah,
emotions. I was always feeling so much.
yeah.
And then, as I already mentioned that in the previous episode, that like, I started numbing those feelings with alcohol, like escaping into alcohol,
Yeah,
because
and I
that was
think,
the only time when I actually felt free.
mhm.
That I didn't have those kind of programs that I was programmed with, this conditioning that was gone, and I could feel like myself.
Yeah, and I think that's a big reason that people are reaching out to any substances because most of them are very sensitive and they are not being taught how to be resilient, how to cope, and there is
Mm.
probably nobody who is at this level, so they are just, this is like escapism from life. But this is something, I like to think about those things as multifunctional because you just don't want to escape this life. You just want to get in touch with something behind the veils. And when you drunk or when you do different
Mm.
things, the veil becomes very thin. So you feel much more alive, much more spiritual
Yeah.
because then you dare to go for it. You don't care basically. So I think that's the most the main reason people are going to to bypass the survival self, whatever that is, the good girl, the strong one, invisible one, funny one, the one that carries everything, the one that shuts her mouth and not say what she sees. And sensitive people, they see everything, we read between the lines. And
Mm.
if you are not being met at this level, and people gonna say like, no, that's not true, because, oh, don't worry, there is nothing, you're going to
Yeah.
mistrust the signals. So, the only way to get in touch for a lot of people is to numb yourself as human and try to look behind the veils. So, this is also maybe the quest, the search for the truthness, who you are. It's not a good way. We are not encouraging anyone to get on drugs.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I think,
I think for me it was, well, yeah, it's hard to say, but I think it was for me it was, yeah, like I said, like I would lose all these blockages
yeah.
and I would feel like free to talk, to say what I wanted to say, because when I was sober, I was very shy.
Mm.
I wouldn't speak unless I was asked to speak. But then when I got drunk, I would be like completely different person, like free. And the next day I'll be my quiet self again. So I was like, yeah, I was like two different people.
Yeah, because you were in a way, I believe so that we all have those survival parts of us, and my metaphor for it is like you are the whole cheesecake, right? But you're gonna slice this cheesecake to, I don't know, 24 slices, maybe more, whatever. But this is definitely not the whole cheesecake, it's like the slice who is so tight in herself, she doesn't know how to deal with this reality, so you numb her in order to meet yourself on the other way, the one who is really daring, because in essence,
Mm.
you are allowed and aware of everything, and you are courageous, and the greatness, you have all you need. But then through the lifetime, I like to call those parts of ourselves the frozen selves, because it's like a super personality of yours, it's or inner child. We're gonna fragment through lifetime, and especially if you are very sensitive and people say like, no, you are wrong, don't say this, and the trauma is not the moment that it happens, but the trauma is happens after, when there is no one to catch you and give you the safety that you can digest something. So this girl probably has made something, and the experience was heavy. There was no one to catch you, to guide you, and you built this shield around you, so you shut
Yeah.
up. And probably you feel this greatness, this part of you that wants to be free, and then after drinking you just release the other part because you numb the other one who was in control, like shut up, it's dangerous, you don't speak. So I love to go into those topics because this is so crazy. We are so much, we are multidimensional in awareness, in everything, even those aspects.
Yeah, and it's amazing, because now that I have this I have this awareness, life is totally different. I go and do, because for a while, after the spiritual awakening, I think I wanted to escape the reality.
Yeah.
And I was so trying so hard to stay up there. I didn't want to come back to this reality.
And then you
But
might.
now I'm coming back, but like with this different awareness.
Yes.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah. And this is maturity because probably the part of you who was trying to escape is being met by you as adult woman, and you can carry her through the difficult times. So this is really beautiful healing because I believe spirituality is meant to embody us in this body, to become very aware of our soul embodiment and not go sky high and use drugs or whatever, because that's bypassing life. And if you think about this, why we are coming here and having those bodies, it's definitely not to escape them and bypass them, but maybe the
Mm.
whole party begins when you become so aware. You begin to feel this connection with your brother parts, and you invite them into this lifetime so that you can explore your vastness while being human. Then I think we can create this reality from very different level, from you not gonna perform anymore, you just gonna go by very different energy in this life.
Yeah, and yeah, especially like, the last couple of years when I experienced the awakening and started connecting with those different aspects of myself. There were times, like I felt like I'm the master of the universe, like, like I can just manifest
Yeah.
everything. And as life has great ways, humble people, it humbled me as well. So, but it's such a great feeling now, it's peaceful. Having, the awareness of being this, how do you say, this amazing soul, this, help me out, this energy
Yes, you are. So
in
we
this
use this.
body, having
Yes,
this human experience. I'm like, wow, why don't I just experience it? Why am I trying to escape? I'm only here for a split of a second in terms of, the
eternity.
universe and the vastness of time.
Yes.
Why don't I just come to the present moment and experience it with the knowledge, with the awareness that I have?
It's a choice. I think now you are aware of the question, you might be at the point that you can consciously choose to do so, because this is, by a lot of people, this question do not even pop out in the mind because they do not get it that we are this big, very big entities, and we are just being individualized to this role. You play Marta, I am playing Beata, but we are not this, and people like you and me and a lot of others who've got this vertical connection. I think this is the beauty, that we might remember each other. And, this is such a great time to be in alive, because we more than ever are asking questions, are feeling that the authority is never been outside. Like, you don't need the middleman between you and this God source energy, because you are it. You are it. And, in our conversation, we were using this metaphor about the sea. Like, what is the sea? This is such a beautiful body of water and it's humongous, or the ocean. But if you will be playing and you just grab a little portion of this water into the basket and you go and play, this is still the same ocean, but just being separated from the bigger portion of itself. It contains everything, even if in the most tiny drop you are having all those qualities of the whole ocean. But somehow this separation became so real for us that we really lose the sense of the wholeness, this belonging. And I think in a lot of cases, people who commit suicides or have depression or any illness, the cause of any problem on earth is that we forgot about this connection. We do not feel it. And this is what makes us very sick, because then you have me too. I was a lot of years in this situation when I was convinced that I need to do everything on my own. There is no help. If you are good with counting, you count on yourself. But this is so wrong, because we are never alone. And even knowing that this universe, this earth, is based on free will, if you choose to feel this separateness, this big part of you, the whole ocean, will not shout at you like, hello, look here, we are here, all of us. And you feel alone because you choose so basically, when we feeling depressed and you are not in a great vibrational state, you're never going to feel this connection. So there is only one way to drag yourself out, is to willingly being able and willing to change the state, to go and change your mind. What are you choosing? Are you willing to play like whole life silly and stupid and divided? Go ahead. Your soul is not gonna knock to you like, okay, if you say so, your wish is my command.
I think mine just knocked me out.
But on the other hand, you
You're
can
not
invite
listening.
it. Yay! Wake up, little Stony. So that's mine, and I am glad, because this is a conscious choice, and I think it might be everyday choice to be your whole self and embody all those aspects, and do not use any excuses of victimhood or that life is happening to you, but be this example of this connectiveness. Like, choose it every day. Like, who am I believe so. I can feel this in my bones. If people ask, who are you? And of course, in a supermarket, you're not going to say like, I am this God spark individualized to me as Beata, but I am the greatest whole. People will lock you up. But, deep down in me,
Well, be careful. Somebody might be knocking at your door after we release this episode to lock you up. Who's this crazy woman?
who is this crazy woman? Yeah, but deep down in my bone marrow, I just feel this unity with something bigger. And for me, this is very important, to invite all of me into this lifetime so that I can create differently, be of good value for people, but most of all, feel this aliveness. Because we are willing this aliveness, but a lot of us are afraid, or they don't want to take this responsibility, because that's beautiful, but there is level of maturity in
But
it
it's
too.
also painful because, to do that, you need to start feeling your emotions.
Yes, and the stories
You
around
need
them.
to start suppressing, you need to stop suppressing your emotions. And
Yes.
sometimes it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts.
It
And
hurts
most,
a lot. And a lot of people, they don't like hurting.
yes, but there is also this misunderstanding, I think, about emotions. And a lot of people, they start to, it goes like this. From I can say this really, like, years of working with people. People love to get one way or another this attention, either from themselves or to survive in the identity they are protecting. So the emotions, this is just nothing else but information. This is like the wave of information passing through you, nor good nor bad. It just is. It is aware, and it comes to you so that you can release it. And that's great, but you can be the whole life busy with haunting emotions, releasing, you name it, until you have agenda. You gonna always plug one on another story into those emotions, and then you're gonna loop, because if you feel something and you are very neutral and you let it pass, you do not have the need to defend the part of you who is holding those emotions, because the part of you, she's going to have the greatest interest in keeping her personality alive. So if you plug a story to this emotion and go into the story, you're going to repeat. It's like the looping mechanism. So or I think there is only one way to become free, if you are able to just pause enough to see who is firing those emotions, who is defending those emotions in you, and who is basically driving the bus, because if you just go, you're gonna go by all those identities, all those slices of a pie, and they
Yeah,
love.
exactly. Just become an observer, right? Just
Yeah,
observe your body, observe the feeling. And like you said, take it as an information.
yeah,
But it's still a feeling in the body.
yes, it is.
And as we know, sometimes that's why I'm saying, because we weren't taught, like a lot of people weren't taught about it. Like I wasn't. We never talked about emotions, about feelings, about anything. So if you don't know anything about it, and you don't know how to deal with it, as a child, if you were, I don't know, getting angry and then you were being punished for getting angry, or like when you were getting sad, and nobody came to you, is like, yeah, it's okay, just breathe. It's fine to be sad, it's okay to be sad. But
Mm.
we were just punished. I mean, I was, like, not physically punished, but you know what I mean, like verbally,
Yeah.
like just be quiet or whatever, stop crying. Nobody explained to me what emotions were.
Yeah, and maybe that's like each generation is having their own purpose. So I think we are at this level that we are being in certain way the pioneers of discovering a lot of stuff and being able to pass through, so that we do not lose this precious time for endless improving, for endless reaching out outside of us. It's beautiful time where we are being empowered by a lot of information, and this is bringing us closer into the deeper inner knowing of who we are, maybe the deeper feeling. And I think under all of this is this aliveness. If we can get in touch with everything which is aliveness, it's so precious, because I can notice that it gives me the space to be myself without the need of any validation from outside. And this is such a big gain of life force energy, if you are not spending the time anymore to defend the roles who you think you are.
Yeah,
Because for everyone else in the room, they might be 10 people, you are somebody else, the daughter,
yeah,
the ex-girlfriend, the owner for your cat. So you're going to embody all those roles for each and every one of them. And if you are not secure, if you don't feel this connection that all is good because you are loved, there is nothing to be afraid of, you're not going to lose this energy to pleasing, improving, being good girl. So all this energy that you can reclaim, you can really use for something totally different. And I think that's
mm,
the time where we are becoming aware of this. So yeah, maybe
yeah,
your parents didn't teach you what emotions are, but look at you, you just figure out by your own.
yeah. I did a lot of things had to happen for me to kind of figure it out. But I did.
Yes, you did, because
Yeah,
I think it's now the right time. Our parents, or the grandparents, they've got this war times and doesn't matter. And still they've got answers to different sets of questions, which may be applied to the era they lived in.
yeah, exactly. And it's not like I'm blaming them, because they didn't teach me, because they weren't taught. So it
Yeah.
came from generations after generations. So I don't blame them. But that was just the reality.
Yeah.
And it's only, in my adult life when certain things happen, when I did end up in that, abusive relationship. It's only after that when I started looking into myself
Yeah.
and learning about myself.
Yes, because if you do not know who you are, you're not definitely not gonna know what you want and what you are coming here to do. Because there is, or you've got it all or nothing. If you don't know who you are, you're always gonna misplace your attention to something or someone else who might insinuate who you are. And believe
Mm.
me, people are gonna do that in their interest, not express, like with intention, but with that's what it is. If you do not have the boundaries because you don't know who you are, people they're gonna validate everything and they're gonna try to shape your reality. And I think resilience, we always are willing to be resilient. It's like this big word of now, resilience, be the container to be able to hold what you want. But if you are not even knowing who you are, how on earth you going to be resilient or stronger
Yeah,
container?
yeah, I understand resilience in a different way. For me, resilience is to feel deeply and still function, still do what you want to do. This is resilience for me. It's not really about, because sometimes, I feel like resilience is connected with strength, with pushing through.
Oh, no.
Um, hmm?
No, I don't think so either.
No?
No.
That's what I
Maybe.
kind of like had a feeling about resilience, that, it's about being strong, pushing through. But for me now, it's, the way I understand it, the way I pass it on.
Hmm.
It's, it's to be able to feel those emotions, but don't let them override you.
Yeah, because there is for sure in resilience is coherence. And coherence for me, I love this word coherence because it means that all the parts of you and you as human, you as emotional being, you as body, as the biology, but also the soul are in alignment with all those parts. There is no conflict so that you can really transmit the energy towards outside and being clear what you are broadcasting and receiving. So, this is like the ultimate state. I want to be
Yeah.
with this coherence and resilience because then you can do really the magic. All of us have got those beautiful energetic signature and ideas and gifts. So I think the only way to really go deep and utilize them is to become still enough to feel, not know, because knowing is always from something you experience. But we are very limited in this lifetime, those
And
physical
again, it's,
apparatus don't let you feel a lot of things. But yeah, there is so much more if you just go in and allow yourself to drop the noise.
yeah, and again, this is something quite hard to do for everyone because you need to let go.
I think it
To
begins with a choice.
Everything begins with a choice.
But people are not conscious that they are making choices. Scrolling your phone like every day, it's a choice. But if you're going to do this, you're not going to tune in because this algorithm knows how to grab you. And one day we were laughing like, this amount of um, scrollings, like going for person, for just, like one person in America is like the whole Statue of Liberty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
What are we
this is
doing?
another addiction, right? This is another thing to numb the emotions
Yes.
because we don't want to feel. We are afraid of feeling.
Mm.
We are afraid of sitting in silence. It's uncomfortable. And the only way to get to the coherence is to be silent, to be still, to listen,
Yeah, be
cut the
present
noise
in the
out.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is so amazing. I don't want to fire all those things here, but lately I've got really this information coming in. I don't know if I shared it with you that I could really basically feel the empowerment of the now in a multidimensional way, like, you know, we are in this body right now. You make choices, you are the anchor, you know, like there is somewhere this future self and somewhere the past self, and in between all of it you are here. And it's up to you if you're going to spend your life by revisiting the past and making projection, because that's not even the memories what you are revisiting, but those are, you know, your brain, it's like basically making those files and putting someplace on the computer. So each time you come back to event in your mind, it's your brain just reopens the file which you revisit the last time. So it's not even the original memory. So I think it's a waste of time going and digging into the past, into dragging those dead memories and trying to, you know, make them alive, because they are not even real. It's basically amazing, right? And then here, yet you are with all the embodiment, with your awareness. It's like this PowerPoint point of the now is really the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
We can change everything from the now, and even we don't see what we are choosing and changing right now, because the choice might be small. But I think if you will be able to check the consequences of your doing and zoom out, you will be flabbergasted how powerful you and your choices are. Right?
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and those choices, they become also habits. So a lot of those things we just repeat on a regular basis without checking in consciously. So do you have any message you want to drop, or idea? We are speaking so beautifully about who we are, and I think this is a question that everyone needs to answer for themselves, but maybe you have some words of, I don't know, encouragement, wisdom.
Yeah, I think what just came to me is to start asking questions. Don't take everything for granted, you know, because sometimes, you know, a lot of people think that, oh, this is who I am, this is the way I am, and that's it. But a lot of that is conditioning, is programming.
Yeah, agree.
So start asking questions. Is this really mine? Is this really me? And like you said, just choose every day. Choose yourself every day. And start living your life in the present moment.
You know, something came into my mind, like how sad it is that we are often expecting from the people around us that they do understand us, what our needs, how we feel. Why? If you even don't know who you are truly, why you think that your partner or, you know, your friend is able to figure out who you are? They have just merely the projection of you through their lens. They are able
Yeah.
to perceive you through.
That's why, you know, like we need to communicate as well. Like it's, I think it's about, like, you know, becoming, like you also mentioned that a lot of times becoming aware of your choices,
Mm,
becoming aware that it's you choosing.
yeah,
And even if you're not choosing, you are choosing.
of course.
And to, you know, like we spoke about it many times before, to get rid of, like, you know, to drop that victimhood mentality that everything is happening to me,
Yeah.
and start taking responsibility for your lives, responsibility for your choices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
And
this might be just, you know, a lot of people, they don't want this. They don't want to be responsible.
yeah,
And I think this is the downfall of us, because we did create passively so much from this reality we are perceiving right now.
and you know, like for me, from the recent events, like for me, it was what changed a lot for me. It was I stopped chasing. Like, you know, I stopped chasing the next version of me
Mm,
because, you know, like in my business, in everything, I just wanted to be there already. And I wasn't living in the present.
yeah.
And then when I made the choice when I made that decision, okay, I'm gonna stop chasing and I'm going to let it unfold in front of me.
Yeah, this is
So
the
I'm just
magic.
gonna be here and I'm gonna trust, because looking back at my life, so you can also look back at your life, how everything has always worked out. And there was many situations, that difficult situations I was in, and everything always worked out. I am here, I am still alive, and I am doing great. But now I decided, I chose to stay in the present moment, to stay conscious, to stay aware in the now,
That's
and
beautiful
see
what you were saying.
where it takes me, because the constant worry, the constant fear,
Yeah.
it's not happening. It's not happening now. It's a projection
Yes, it is.
of something that's gonna happen in the future, but you don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So, so I wake up in the morning and I still, there's like the feeling of fear or whatever, but then I change and I choose to believe that, I choose to get excited. Like, I transform that fear into excitement into the happiness of, I can't wait what's going to happen to me today. Like, what good, I'm inviting good to my life.
Yeah, I know what you mean. This is exactly what I am doing too. Like I am tuning in and just becoming open field to receive. And receiving is not only the beautiful things, but also the situations which are uncomfortable, because you need to make different choices in a background. Those situations are already running your life. So if I see some situation, I am always aware, an unpleasant situation, that this is an invitation. It's happening definitely for me for a reason. And there is a certain degree with cooperation with the universe or your higher parts, whatever you want to call it. But those things are there to make you aware of your choices. And you cannot be very selective and say, I want only the good things happening to me, and the bad things, blah, I'm closing the window. Because, life is life. There will be always situations, and you can call them challenges or adventures. And
Yeah.
you are always choosing. You are always choosing. There is no situation that you are not choosing. But I think one of the problems is that we are being running by fear. And fear makes us that we want to control every outcome. Even if you have desire, you are controlling how you get there, how fast. So there is no place for the universe to play with you, because you're just gonna be very, like the tunnel
Narrow.
vision,
Yeah.
go and get it. But maybe it might not be good for you at all. That's what you are wishing, because the projection was so big and you go there and you want now. But maybe the big self say, like, Marta.
That's exactly what happened, recently, because, I was chasing great career, I was chasing money, I was chasing the stage. And then I forgot that 10 years ago, I wanted to be where I am now.
And now
I
you are here
wanted to
and you
live in a
even see
quiet
it.
yeah, in a quiet place. And then, it was that moment of realization
Yeah.
that I should be enjoying this now. Why am I not enjoying the life that I actually wanted 10 years ago?
I have answer for your question.
Why do I want to go there already and I don't want to enjoy this beautiful place where I
Yeah.
am now? And
Yeah.
that's changed everything.
And that's sad, because we are wired for chasing. We are not gracious. We are not happy because we are wired. That's the scarcity, and that's this not enoughness. This is like the biggest disease, is not enoughness. It goes in every area of your life. It applies to your body, to your appearance, to your knowledge, to your sense of humor, everything. Not enoughness. We always, we want something so badly, but yet when we there, we not even pause and say, yay.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
just
Because
go.
that's, it's a hamster wheel, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you continue living like this, you are never gonna be happy,
No.
because you will achieve one thing and then you will want another one and another one and another one. So
And
when are
half
you
of
gonna
those
be
things
happy
are
if
not
you're not
even
happy
things you
now?
really desire, but they are pushed and projected, and you go by the standards, or the algorithm is being pushed on you.
Yeah.
So Marta, let me ask you once more, who are you?
I am this piece of the universe, this soul having a human experience on this planet. And who are you, Beata?
Me as well. And as I said to you, there is this one beautiful word in Lakesh, which means I am another you. I believe we are all coming from the same place, of the same consciousness. We separate ourselves to enjoy the game of life, but we just forget how to enjoy it on the way.
Beautiful. I think it's a beautiful way to end this conversation.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Beata. It's beautiful once you realize this, that you are connected to something greater, that you are greater,
Yeah, and that we are all connected.
and that we are all connected.
So that's the invitation for people listening this podcast. Remember that we are at certain level, we are all one. So there is no need to compete with each other from the ego-based reality. Just let's co-create, let's build together, let's utilize and our knowledge, our greatness to just play this life evenly with this diversity of us as this people we are playing to be. Just let's enjoy with each other, and don't forget to just be alive, just feel this
Yeah.
lightness, this interconnectiveness, and do not be too
That's a
serious.
great thing you said. Don't forget to be alive.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
forget to be alive.
I think I kind of forgot about it for a little while. I forgot to enjoy life.
Yeah. Okay, Marta, thank you so much for these conversations. And again, if anyone got any questions or topics you want us to discuss with you, please bring it on and hit the button to subscribe. We're going to be back with another topic. And for
Soon.
now, we wish you a good day.
Yeah, have a great day. Thank you,
Have a great
Beata.
day.
Thank you everyone for listening.
Ooh.